The Dolan Law Firm consistently achieves outstanding results with over $1 billion in verdicts and settlements.
The Dolan Law Firm, the best, most diverse personal injury and employment law firm we hope you'll never need.
Contact us at dolanlawfirm.com.
Decisions aren't hard when no matter what you choose, you win. Like with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Choose from the $5 classic box with iconic favorites like a beefy 5-layer burrito, the $7 Supreme box with the chicken chalupa supreme, and more. Or find new obsessions in the $9 Discovery box. Get yours at Taco Bell today. Participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Lineups have been exchanged. The umpires have gone over the ground rules, and Bomel's Giants are suited up in the orange and black.
I can't imagine transitioning from loving baseball cards to then knowing it's inevitably coming that you're going to be on baseball cards. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I think the first card I saw was when they did something for USA Baseball, and then now seeing my face, seeing me playing baseball on a card, it was surreal. It wasn't that it was that moment where like, wow, this is really something.
Snack that Freddie cannot resist.
I would have to say chips and guacamole. Organic mango, yeah.
Is that because of the strong Dominican contingent in the major leagues, bro? Has anybody ever struck out and gone crazy and smashed the cooler full of mangoes?
No, our team's not really into smashing each other's stuff, I guess.
Are you a seasoning guy? You like to drown your stuff in dips and sauces?
No. Gotta watch my figure.
And it looks great, brother.
I appreciate it.
Very sexy man. Yeah, let's go, Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
Left center profile sprints over. Oh, he lost it. He did not see that ball. He didn't even come close to it.
These interactions between De La Cruz and Tito Francona have been priceless.
Come on, man. You got it there?
Yes, indeed.
And the ball wasn't the only thing that landed in the basket. What in the world happened out there to Jung-Ho Lee? That's wild. I mean, you don't see that in the big leagues.
We know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
All right, back here in San Francisco, Giants and the Mets. Time now for our national anthem from just a few moments ago. Proudly sponsored by River Islands. Come home to River Islands in Lathrop and discover the San Joaquin River lifestyle. With its lakes, parks, and schools, start your tour today at riverislands.com.
Here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome 18-year-old Oakland native, Io Brame.
a snack that Freddie cannot resist?
I would have to say chips and guacamole. Organic mango, yeah.
Is that because of the strong Dominican contingent in the major leagues, bro? Has anybody ever struck out and gone crazy and smashed the cooler full of mangoes?
No, our team's not really into smashing each other's stuff, I guess.
Are you a seasoning guy? You like to drown your stuff in dips and sauces?
No. Gotta watch my figure.
And it looks great, brother.
I appreciate it.
Very sexy man.
Yeah,
Let's go, Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
Biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
Brett Beatty starts at second base, hit 6. Francisco Alvarez, for a while, was sent back down to the minor leagues, was struggling. He's back up on the big league team. Their young catcher catching and batting 7th. Ronnie Mauricio will play third base tonight and hit 8th. And Tyrone Taylor, good defensive outfielder in center field, he bats 9th. Pitcher for the Mets, Clay Holmes, was really doing a great job. He has had a harder time in his last few starts. Holmes, who is making the conversion almost the way that Jordan Hicks did, from a reliever for a long time into a starting pitcher. So maybe there's some thought that he's begun to wear down as the season's gone on. Overall numbers are still good, 8-5 with a 3.48 earned run average. So Clay Holmes, the starter for the Mets here tonight. Meanwhile, the Giants take the field on this Friday night. Giants 54-49, third place in the National League West, 1 game out of a wild card spot in the National League wildcard division. Elliot Ramos in left field. He hits leadoff tonight. Rafael Devers had a big couple games to finish the road trip in Atlanta. Devers playing first base, so out of the field for the second time. He bats second. Willie Adama, shortstop, hitting third. Matt Chapman, the cleanup hitter and third baseman. Mike Yastrzemski out in right field. Yastrzemski bats fifth. Wilmer Flores, the DH and sixth place hitter. Jung-Hoo Lee, center fielder, hits 7th. Casey Schmidt starting at second base, he'll bat 8th, and Patrick Bailey doing the catching, hitting 9th. The pitcher for the Giants is the right-hander Logan Webb, 9-7 with a 3.08 earned run average. The earned run average is as high as it's been all year, and that's just because the last few starts haven't been quite as perfect for Webb, including when he was on the mound in Toronto. The Blue Jays roughed him up in that one big inning, and he gave up 11 hits against the Blue Jays, only had 1 strikeout. So Webb trying to bounce back from that here tonight against the Mets. A message sponsored by Walk Up Personal Injury Law. Justice takes more than a fighter. You need a champion. Visit walkuplaw.com. This copyrighted broadcast, presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants. Umpires, Marvin Hudson, the crew chief, is behind home plate tonight. We just had this crew fairly recently. Trip Gibson, the first base umpire. Ryan Blakeney at second, and Junior Valentine is the umpire. Down the third base side, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday early or evening, late afternoon for the 3-game series. The Giants and the Mets, their only trip to San Francisco this year. And here we go. It's Nimmo, Lindor, and Soto against Logan Webb for the first pitch. Here's John Miller.
And here it is from Webb, and a first pitch sinker, a high sinker, at the belt for a called strike to Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo, left-handed hitter with power, takes way outside and high at 93. So both of those first 2 pitches up from Logan Webb, the sinkers, and generally when he's effective, that pitch is down around the knees. Here it is. There's his swing, line drive into left field, misjudged by Ramos, and it sails high over his head and short hops the wall to the left of the 354 marker in straightaway left field, and Nimmo goes into second with a double. Well, it might, even if he had not misjudged that one, it might not have made any difference because that ball was really clobbered. And now here comes Francisco Lindor. That was a changeup from Logan Webb, and that one was above the knees, but it was much lower than the first two sinkers, but out over the outside part of the plate. Now a line drive up the middle, and that's a base hit on a sinker, a high sinker, and over to third and stopping is Nimmo. And now here's a throw in. It's cut off by Chapman, who then makes a quick throw to first, diving safely back just ahead of the tag is Lindor. They made it fairly close at first base. Jung-Hoo Lee charged that fly ball that ground ball very aggressively, hit his cutoff man, and then the throw went back to first with Devers covering, and his tag was just a little bit late. So now first and third, two hard hit balls in a row here against Logan Webb.
Ponga en el banquillo para siempre. Aprende cómo permanecer en el juego en heart.org/HCM Student Athlete.
Hola, amigo. You can find the Peerless Boiler that's right for your home or business and a list of local installers at peerlessboilers.com. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
Back in San Francisco, we go bottom of the first inning. 2-0 Met lead before the Giants take a swing. Here's Elliot Ramos batting right-handed. First pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. It is Clay Holmes' day for the New York Mets. Clay making his 21st start of 2025. Righty against righty. Pitch to Ramos. Heater misses up, and it's 1-1 strike. So instant 2-0 lead for the Mets. Nimmo a double, Lindor a single. Soto brings in the first for the ground out. Alonso sac fly makes it 2-0 Mets. There's the 1-1 from Holmes. Swing and a miss. A good sinker down and in, and it's 1-2. So the Mets' first runs of the game sponsored by Sloman's. Call or visit Slomans.com to schedule a free estimate on a new central AC system. Sloman's, the difference is human. Time called at home plate by Ramos. The righty hitting left fielder. Remember, Nimmo hit the ball over his head to get the Mets started in the top of the first inning. Ramos, though an all-star this year, more of an offensive all-star. His numbers in left field have been putrid. There's the 1-2. Hit hard to short. Lindor to his left. Dives. It's off his glove. Trickles behind him, and Ramos is safe. That'll be a base hit. Good effort by Lindor sliding toward the middle of the infield. Literally diving toward it as well. And so early dirt on that road jersey for Francisco. Hit off of the thumb on his glove. And so with a runner on, here is the newest Giant. Been here for a little more than a month now, the lefty Rafael Devers. Now a cornerstone piece of the San Francisco Giants. Big left-hand hitter. First pitch. Missed outside from Holmes with ball one. So Devers, of course, traded over mid-June, June 15th. It was actually a Sunday night game. I think the Mets were flying out west. It was the only game going on, and big news dropped. 1-0 pitch, fouled back. That's 1 strike. With the Giants, 31 games. He's hit 4 home runs, OPS 755. So it's not been unbelievable, not been Devers-like numbers. No, and he was with Boston, 15 homers, 905 OPS. 1-1. Line down the right field line has a base hit for Devers. One hop off the fence. Ramos hits second, heading for third. Soto up with a throw back to the infield. Ramos holds it third. Devers hits second with a double. So though the early numbers have not been unbelievable, he's still Rafael Devers every time he steps in there. And all of a sudden the Giants have the tying men in scoring position. And Willy Adames coming up.
That was fast. That was a breaking ball down in the zone, and Devers, very similar to the home run he hit the other day, just went down and golfed it.
Adames' first year of a 7-year, $182 million deal. Saw a lot of him with Milwaukee last year. First pitch. Righty takes a little bit low with ball one. And for Adames, talk about Devers coming over, the trade, he's now one of the guys, if not the guy here, and he struggled a little bit. Adames has struggled until this month. First year of that big deal. 1-0. Flied foul to the right. That's 1 strike. For this season, Adames hitting just .229. 718 OPS. Well, in July, he has hit 6 of his 15 home runs. He's hit over 300, and his OPS is 1105. So this is the guy that the Giants signed. Second and third infield back pitch. Swing and a miss. Big long swing late on 95, and it's 1-2. So 2-0 Met lead. But right now Ramos at second, Ramos at third, Devers at second. You have Adames, then Matt Chapman, and then Mike Yastrzemski. Righty, lefty against Clay Holmes. Holmes has struggled in July. Comes set, first base side of the rubber. A look at third. 1-2. Missed outside. Diving stop by Alvarez on the breaking ball away.
And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defensive alignment brought to you by Orland & Cohen Orthopedic Group. Experience orthopedic pain. We've got specialists for that. Francisco Alvarez working with Holmes tonight. We've got Mauricio at third, Lindor at short, Beatty at second, Alonso at first. Holmes ready. The 2-2. Chopper hit foul up the third base line. A little trickler. That stays 2-2. In the outfield, Brandon Nimmo in left, Tyrone Taylor in center, Juan Soto in right. This outfield has always been known as being it just goes for miles and miles, it feels, especially to Triples Alley out there in right center, which is 415 feet. 2-2. Fouled again into the Met dugout first base side. 2-2 it stays on number 2, Willie Adames. You know, he wears number 2 as a shortstop. He grew up loving Derek Jeter. And for 3 days, Mets fans may be loving the Yankees until tonight, as the Phillies beat them in the Bronx. Not very helpful. Here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball hit foul again down third. And it stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mets again jumped into play today, a half-game lead over Philly. So with Philadelphia's win right here, right now, in the first inning, they both have the same record, 59-44. So Mets win, obviously jumps them back up to first place. 2-2. Pulled foul again, third base side, and it's been 8 pitches spent and no decision here on Adames. So Holmes has had to battle. Clay has pitched to a 3.48 ERA in 20 starts. Maybe slowing down here in July. Second and third, 2-2. Flied foul to the right, and can't put Adames away. Of course, Clay's got that really great changeup. Usually he'll throw that to a lefty batter instead of a righty. The sweeper, the slider, the things here that move down and away. Trying to get a strikeout. This will be a big spot for a strikeout. Mets are playing the infield back, so they'll concede a run on a ground ball. 2-0 Mets, bottom 1. 2-2 pitch. Bounce to third along the line. Mauricio bobbles the ball. Thought about coming home. Recovers and throws to first in time to get Adames. But Ramos scores from third. Devers stays at second. And the Met lead is now cut in half. It is 2-1 in the first inning. Mauricio working to his right. Had it hit hard enough. You're playing back. You're conceding the run in a sense. But it got to him right away. And he bobbled the ball for a moment. You could see his eyes working toward the plate. But once the ball squirted out of his glove, he recovered and just threw to first base. Yeah, it's a great job by Mauricio just to keep his composure and avoid compounding a mistake. He looked home, as you said, had enough time to throw it across the diamond. Adames doesn't run great, so he had plenty of time. And now a really smart move by Francisco Alvarez, who led this little convoy to the mound to give Clay Holmes an opportunity to catch his breath. That was a really lengthy battle with Willie Adames.
10 pitch at bat with Adames. And so Matt Chapman is coming up. By the way, you can place your deposit now to secure your spot with the Mets 2026 season ticket memberships go on sale coming up in September. For information, go to Mets.com/deposits. So instant action for you in the first inning in San Francisco. Mets took a 2-0 lead. Giants right back have scored a run. They have a man in scoring position. Runner at second for Matt Chapman and 1 out. First pitch. Chapman takes high and tight, and it's ball 1. Chapman, you might remember, signed here early last year. Signed one of those Scott Boras contracts. Okay, 3 years, but an opt-out after every year. And then he signed a big extension last year. 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. So, he is now in the first of a 6-year, $151 million extension. One of those Boras contracts that looked like it's going to go south and then does not. It went right. Holmes is 1-1. Low and in, 2 balls and a strike. Chapman's been pretty hot, 7 for his last 15. He's had extra base hits in 4 straight games. And as we talk about his offensive numbers, he is a phenomenal third baseman. Mets 2, Giants 1. Runner at second, 1 out. Infield back, 2-1. Misses high. And Holmes falls behind now. 3 balls and a strike on Chapman with Mike Yastrzemski to follow. Holmes mentioned maybe slowing down in the month of July. ERA this month is up over 6. He's not gone 6 innings in more than a month. 3-1. Up high, he walked him. So after a 10-pitch battle that Willie Adames ends up bringing in a run, you've got a walk on a 3-1 pitch to Matt Chapman. Pitch count at 22 in the first inning for Clay Holmes. First and second, 1 out. And Mike Yastrzemski coming up. Mike Yastrzemski, grandson of Carl Yastrzemski. He has a legendary Boston Red Sox, but Mike here, 34 years old, 7th season in San Francisco. Kind of a late bloomer. He played forever in the minor leagues, something like 700-plus games down there before finally getting a chance to play up here, and he's been a mainstay in this lineup. First pitch, high, missed again. That wasn't even close, and it's ball 1. He looks off.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. These pitches really haven't even been competitive recently for Clay Holmes, and a lot up.
Yeah, Devers at second base, Chapman at first, infield back, looking for a double play. The 1-0. Pumped over the outside corner, called a strike by Marvin Hudson, and that's 1-1. Yastrzemski hitting .235, 8 homers and 28 RBIs. Lately been scuffling. Just 9 for his last 48. However, Holmes is trying to find a strike zone. The 1-1. Missed down low, tried the breaking ball. It's 2 balls and a strike on Yastrzemski. Did not debut, mentioned, played 700 games. He was 28 years old by the time he got up to the major leagues. It's pretty amazing the kind of career he's carved out for himself. Holmes set, the 2-1. Lifted in the air, foul off to the left and out of play, and it's 2-2. I mentioned Carl Yastrzemski, probably from a certain generation. Of course you know Carl Yastrzemski, but if you are not, former AL MVP, won 7 Gold Gloves, and grew up in Southampton, out east on Long Island. Carl Yastrzemski. First and second, 1 out. Holmes ready, 2-2. Fouled straight back. That was a fastball at 95. And that's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lindor playing right behind the runner at second base. Devers not a fast man, never has been. So a ball to the outfield. Certainly not automatic for the third base coach, Matt Williams, to send him. Here's the 2-2. Line to right field. Soto working his way in over toward the line. Makes the catch. Looks the runners back to first and second and chucks it in. That was hard hit. But luckily for Holmes, right at Soto. And Yastrzemski is down. And here's the former Met. And I hate to break it to you, but now longtime Giant. He's been here longer than he's been with the Mets. Can't believe we're saying that, but here's Wilmer Flores. Wilmer in his 6th season already with San Fran. 2-1 Mets. Bottom of the first. 2 on, 2 out. Pitch. A little bit high, missed with ball 1. I think when we were telling you about the early part of the season, remember Pete was crushing it with all those RBIs. Wilmer was right up there, top of the leaderboard with RBIs. It's not been the case recently. 1-0. Missed down low. 2 balls and no strikes. By the way, 30 pitches now for Holmes. Bullpen is out in center field to the right of straightaway center. The Giants are to the left. The Mets may think about it here pretty soon if Holmes does not get Flores. 2-0 on him. He's great in these spots. Pitch. In for a strike, 2-1. Wilmer is hitting a whopping .345 with men in scoring position. He knocked in 41 runs in his first 44 games. That's a lot of money-making hits right there. 2-1. Swings and fouls it away to the right side, and it's 2-2. But then cooled off. Just 18 RBIs in the last 47. That's why we always say RBI totals certainly help tell the story. It doesn't totally explain a player's value. Wilmer's been great in those spots, just needs to be in those spots. Holmes is 2-2. Check swing roller right back to the mound. Holmes down to field. Throws low. Picked by Alonso just in time to end the inning. And a long one for Clay Holmes. It
feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's like about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade, you gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
South side of Chicago, where are you at? This was the first time I got traded, but I was so excited to wear these pinstripes and be a South side of Chicago boy. This jersey right here is an all-star jersey. You can see on the back the all-stars and the all-star patch there. Being an all-star and being who I was called over there to be was something I was real proud of.
jbh.org/ortho.
Cars for Kids, the easiest way to get rid of your old car. Donate today, and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Donate now at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K.
Back in San Francisco, Mets 2, Giants 1. Brett Beatty leads off the top of the second. The first pitch from Logan Webb, slung in there for a strike, a sweeper to get ahead. 0-1. So a lot of action already in this ball game in this series. Here's the 0-1 from Webb. Beatty takes low, another breaking ball, and it's 1-1 strike. So the Mets grabbed 2 runs there. Nimmo and Lindor got on. Soto and Alonso brought him in. The Giants made Holmes throw 33 pitches in the bottom of the first inning. RBI ground out by Willie Adames. Got the job done there. The 1-1. Beatty checks swing, appeal to third. He went around, says Junior Valentine. The pitch looked pretty close anyway. Wasn't called a strike, but the swing was called a swing, and Beatty takes his time. Second inning is powered by Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the New York Mets. Tomorrow's innovation awaits with Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. 1-2. Line foul the other way. Into the seats downstairs. That stays the ball in 2 strikes. This is a bustling ballpark, Oracle Park. City of San Francisco. Surrounding area has loved coming here. There's the 1-2 pitch. Missed outside, off speed, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. You could see out beyond the bleachers in left field, people walking along the concourse. Out in right field above that high brick wall, Levi's landing out there. And then McCovey Cove behind that. 2-2. Strike 3 called outside corner. Slipped a sweeper at the knees over the outside corner. Beatty doesn't love it. And it's the first strikeout of the ball game, 1 away in the second inning. We're coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. He's Pat McCarthy. My name is Keith Ratt. Top 2, Mets ahead 2-1. Here's Francisco Alvarez back in the lineup. First pitch. Webb delivers a letter-high fastball strike, and it's 0-1. Francisco's return was earlier in the week against the Angels. Played the first 2 days and then sat on Wednesday, the day game after night game. Here's the 0-1. Missed outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Alvarez, of course, had a big series against the Angels. Had the late double in the 8th inning on Monday to get the Mets in situation to win the game. And then a home run on Tuesday. Next pitch, swirls over the outside corner, a strike, and it's 1-2. Alvarez, then Mauricio, then Taylor here. Francisco lifts his hand to call for time ahead of the 1-2 pitch. Cloudy skies at Oracle Park. Lights are on. Wind blowing out to center. Webb's wind up and pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out on a changeup away. And there's 2 outs. Again, told you that before with Holmes. Clay Holmes, that is a changeup. Usually a righty will throw it to the opposite hand. A righty's up, and you're a lefty, you throw the changeup. But Carlos Mendoza told me pregame today, Webb's been throwing a lot of righty-righty changeups, and that's not a good thing because if it works, it's hard to hit. Here's Ronnie Mauricio, first pitch swinging, taps it foul for strike 1.
Well, not only is it a good pitch, but for these right-handed hitters, they're just not used to seeing right-handed changeups. So Yeah, it's from a guy that is one of the top pitchers in all of baseball, but there's also just such a lack of familiarity with it as well.
0-1. Bouncing ball towards second base and through past the diving Casey Schmidt going into right center field. Mauricio is on for the Mets. So after Webb started to maybe find it there, striking out Beatty and Alvarez to start the inning, Mauricio finds himself aboard. Now Ronnie in 34 games now. Batting average up over 220. And he's on base for Tyrone Taylor. With Logan Webb, there'll be a lot of that as well, which is ground balls. Big sinker guy, and so pound a lot of those into the ground. For Mauricio, he found a hole. Takes his lead off first. First pitch, Taylor shows bunt, pulls back and takes low. And it's ball one on the Mets center fielder. And Centers Healthcare would like to remind you that they're not just care, they're care that moves you. CentersHealthcare.com. 2-1 Mets, second inning, pitch. Line towards center field. Lee, back couple of steps, has it lined up, makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, one hit, one left. Done with an inning.
Man umpiring crew here today in this young superstar.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yes, so Hoppy Tritt, they got their feet tangled up before the ball came down.
That goes helicoptering into the net. It's Pronto.
And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
A little tumble behind the mound, hat fell off. That was awesome. I mean, you just don't see that.
Do you guys make your own brisket here?
Yes, we do. We do. We are known by our brisket.
Barbecue brisket sandwich. Quality is better than other places, and it looks good. We're ready to eat.
We go to an average 500 briskets per game. We hear a lot from our fans. They want to try something with wrap, easy to eat. So we say, well, let's do like brisket, wrap, and an egg roll.
That's beautiful. You get the gold medal for culinary brisketry here in Texas.
Yes.
For you. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly.
Play the newest scratch-off games from the New York Lottery. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY.
Jung-Hoo Lee leads off the bottom of the second inning for the Giants. Mets leading San Francisco 2-1. Clay Holmes had to really work 33 pitches in a laborious first inning. Facing Lee, skinny left-hand hitter. First pitch. Dots the inside corner. Started him off with a breaking ball, and it's 0-1 on Lee. Second major league season. Mets saw him a little bit last year. Played and then got hurt. Missed a lot of time. 0-1. Missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's a .246 hitter. 6 homers, 41 RBIs. He's a speedster. He's actually 8th in triples, which is top 2 or 3 in the game. He can really run. The 1-1. Line foul left side, and it's 1-2. Dislocated his shoulder last year, played 37 games, then ended up getting shoulder surgery and was done for the year. And so the grandson of the wind missed a lot of time. Holmes ready with a 1-2. Here it comes. And missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Holmes facing 7, 8, and 9. Casey Schmidt, Patrick Bailey to follow. 2-2. Bounce to the right side. Backing up Alonso. Has it. Spins. Throws to first. Close. Holmes is there. Nice play. Just before Lee got there for the out. So Pete had to work his way back and toward the grass. He fielded the ball in fair territory and then stepped onto the grass behind the cutout and then turned and fired a strike. So Lee retired. Casey Schmidt coming up. Check Some Score is sponsored by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop nissanusa.com.
SCOREBOARD.com. Mention the Phillies. They beat the Yankees 12-5. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 for Philadelphia. So they keep pace with the Mets. Pitch to Schmidt. Right, he takes a strike from Holmes. That's 0-1. Miami beat Milwaukee. Not a lot of teams are beating Milwaukee these days. Miami won 5-1. By the way, the Marlins are 19-8 in their last 27 games. Here's the 0-1. Schmidt hits it hard. Shortstop hole. Lindor on the backhand has it. Throw to first on one hop. Picked out by Pete for the out. Nice play on both ends. Lindor on the backhand and Pete on the backhand for the 6-3 putout, 2 down.
Yeah, really long throw by Lindor and a nice job by Pete as well on the backhand pick. And that's one thing Pete does so well. That was a short hop that he had to come and grab. And that is not easy by any means.
So 2 quick outs for Holmes. Again, it goes without saying, but he'd love an easy, breezy inning after a long first. 2-1 Mets. Here's Bailey. First pitch in for a strike to the switch-hitting catcher, batting left. Cardinals blanked San Diego, which is good news if you're a Giants fan. St. Louis won 3-0. Giants are looking up at the Padres in the division. 0-1. Missed away. 1 ball and 1 strike. It is the Dodgers who are still the leaders by 5 games in the West. Then San Diego, then San Francisco, then Arizona. You heard last night Arizona starting to sell off pieces. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good looking sweeper. And it's 1-2. The first domino to fall last night was Josh Naylor getting traded from Arizona to Seattle. And then today, Mets got a trade, Yankees got a trade. Here we go. The 1-2, missed low and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Second inning powered by Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the New York Mets. Tomorrow's innovation awaits with Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a high fastball. Clay Holmes does have a 1-2-3 inning. A strong second inning. And the Mets take a 2-1.
All right, Ryan. PSA dove in. Do we have them graded?
We do. This is the first set of graded cards from the 2024 Topps MLB Network set.
I'm so excited about this. Now, they all have the same grade? Or
no.
So one of us will be like the highest graded card?
Could be. There could be multiple. So first up, we got Mark DeRosa.
Of course, D-Rose a 10 out of 10. Handsome, athletic. All right.
Old school D-backs jersey. This was our alternate jersey that we wore on Saturdays. I was the first team to wear the new colors. They called it Sedona Red. Don't mess up that color. Every time I wore this jersey, I would wear the high socks, black jersey, black hat. I just thought it was a really smooth look, and this is one that I'll never forget.
If you've been injured, visit the Rothenberg Law Firm at injurylawyer.com.
Third inning at Oracle Park under the lights. 2-1 Met lead over San Francisco. Here is Pat McCarthy.
And Brandon Nimmo leads off for the Mets against Logan Webb. First pitch is taken, top of the zone for a called strike. And it's 0-1. Nimmo's 1 for 1 tonight, double and a run scored. Back in a 2-run first inning against Webb. The 0-1. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Webb and Holmes traded zeros in the second inning. 1-1. Called strike. Fastball upstairs, 1-2. For Webb, a couple of strikeouts in the second inning. Clay Holmes picked up his first strikeout to close out the bottom of the second inning. 1-2. Swung on, hit foul, back to the netting. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. That strikeout of Patrick Bailey was the Mets' first strikeout of the game, brought to you by Weichert Realtors. Don't settle for a good agent, go for a great one at Weichert.com. Webb's 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Nimmo. Brandon's double back in the first inning, 107 off the bat. 2-2. Swinging a ground ball, hit foul past Antoine Richardson in the first base coaching box. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Antoine was the most popular man in the ballpark earlier today. Longtime coach for the San Francisco Giants. Visiting some old buddies across the way. It's a lot of familiar faces on both sides. Look up and down the Giants roster, a number of former Mets. 2-2. Fouled off at home plate, still 2-2.
Even without Michael Conforto, who was here for 2 years.
Conforto now with the Dodgers. Webb from the windup, and it's 2-2 to Nimmo. Upstairs, 3-2. Justin Verlander is here, just picked up his first win in a Giants uniform. Last time out, it was a rough go of things for the future Hall of Famer. Payoff pitch. Hit foul and out of play, off to the left. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Matt Gage, who was with the Mets last season, is in the Giants' pen. Joey Lucchese's here.
Joey Fuego.
We all remember where we were in 23 for the Joey Lucchese game. 3-2 pitch is swung on and lifted to left field. Slicing away from Elliot Ramos, but he is there in fair territory to make the catch for out number 1.
It's funny, I mentioned the night Devers got traded. I think we were flying somewhere. They were playing the Sunday night game, and they traded for a mid-game, and all of a sudden warming up at the Giants bullpen because they traded for the trade at the start of that night, Kyle Harrison. There's Joey Lucchese, and I went, oh, he's with the Giants now. Pretty amazing.
Here's Francisco Lindor, 1-for-1 with a run scored and a stolen base. First pitch is swung on and grounded foul. First base side, it's 0-1. This is the meat of the order presented by the Chef IQ Sense, a cooking thermometer that pairs to your phone and ensures that you never over or undercook your chicken, fish, or meat again. Buy one at chefiq.com. The 0-1. Down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. I believe the team was heading to Atlanta when Rafael Devers was traded. I was actually listening to the Giants broadcast because I was driving home from that game. 1-1. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. John Miller and Dave Fleming were talking because the trade hadn't been official yet, so they were trying to figure out how to navigate what was happening.
Well, I think that was kind of one-sided. John just didn't know well, anyway.
1-2. Swung on, popped up towards the corner and right. It is deep. Yastrzemski's just going to watch this one fly into Levi's landing. It's 309 to right, and Lindor hit it just far enough for his 20th home run of the season, and it is 3-1 Mets in the third.
Now, remember, Francisco had a 2-home-run game here last year, but the thing about this being so important for the Mets is that they're doing it against Logan Webb, who has had their number as a team. He's had their number one-on-one. I mean, Lindor is just 3 for 14 against Webb coming in tonight. 2 for 2, and now a homer.
And now here's Juan Soto as the Mets are ahead 3-1. First pitch swung on, hit well to right field. Yastrzemski going over, leaps, and it's off his glove. And it rolls in front of him. Soto trying for second. The throw is late. It's a stand-up double for Soto. And the Mets have another runner in scoring position against Logan Webb. And here comes Pete.
Now, this is what the Mets did so well in the first inning is simply attack early. And Soto swings at the first pitch. He never swings at the first pitch and jumped on Webb. And that's what kind of Nimmo did and Lindor did. Very early in at bat, just go get that pitch that's out over the plate. Yastrzemski with a very valiant effort almost caught that ball on a leap at the warning track.
16th double of the season for Soto. Now here's Alonso. First pitch. Swung on, hit the opposite way to right field. Here comes Yastrzemski. It'll hang up in time to make the catch. Throw back to second. But Soto is back standing, 2 away.
Just going back to that, what we were talking about, John Miller, Dave Fleming. Dave was looking at Twitter and social media and seeing that this was being well reported that they had traded for Devers. John Miller, old school John Miller, one of the greatest to ever do it. Because the Giants hadn't officially said anything, he was kind of going, I don't know, Dave. Dave's saying, no, John, I'm telling you, this is happening.
Here's McNeil, swings the first pitch and grounds it foul into the Mets dugout. And it's 0-1.
I remember listening, thinking, there's a generational gap right there if you've ever heard one.
It all worked out at the end.
Yeah, they got Devers, and it made it official.
Jordan Hicks, Matt Harrison, they went to the Red Sox. The 0-1. McNeil grounds one towards second. Schmidt's there, and the second baseman throws on to first in time for the out, and that'll retire the side. But the Mets get a run on the...
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win. Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these ourselves. But he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
Best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets. Your one-stop shop for all your game day essentials. Whether you're grilling up hot dogs or snacking on peanuts and popcorn, Key Food has you covered with a selection that never strikes out. Plus, as proud sponsors of Odyssey Mets Radio, Key Food and their family of supermarkets brings every thrilling moment straight to you. Key Food. The difference is key.
Bottom of the third inning in San Francisco. Top of the order due up for the Giants against Clay Holmes. Mets have given him a 2-run lead once again. Here's Elliot Ramos leading off. Takes the first pitch wide, a breaking ball. And it's 1-0. Ramos 1 for 1. He has scored the only run tonight for the Giants. Willie Adames RBI ground out. 1-0 pitch, in for a strike. And the count's 1-1. It'll be Ramos, Devers, and Adames against Clay Holmes, who needed 33 pitches to get through the first, much more economical second inning. 1-1 pitch is low. It's 2-1. Holmes with a 1-2-3, bottom of the second inning. Couple of ground outs and a strikeout. 48 pitches in total for the right-hander. 2-1 pitch. Swing a ground ball softly hit towards third. Mauricio comes charging in, but it kicks foul. Counts 2 balls and 2 strikes. On Elliot Ramos, former first-round pick of the Giants. Ramos, who's running hard out of the box, is walking his way back towards home plate. He also had lost his shin guard for a moment, so he had to reattach that piece of equipment before he got back towards the right-handed batter's box. Digs back in, taps both sides of the plate. Holmes back to the first base side of the rubber. And the 2-2 pitch will have to wait because now Ramos wants a little bit more time, and he calls time from home plate umpire Marvin Hudson. Give himself a couple of extra seconds. Prior to the 2-2 pitch, Holmes ready to go. The right-hander rocks home. Check swing on a breaking ball down and away. Counts 3 balls and 2 strikes on Elliot Ramos. Right on right matchup. Holmes ready in the payoff. Grounded foul. That one clipped Ramos in the right-handed batter's box. Rafael Devers walks a couple of steps towards the baseball, but decides to let the bat boy handle that. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Holmes ready. And the pitch to Ramos. Inside, and it hit the knob of the bat. So it's a foul ball. We'll do it again, 3-2.
Well, if Ramos wanted to maybe get on base here, did a pretty terrible acting job. he was just wondering did it hit me? No, it got the bat. He just kind of held still.
3-2 again. Swung on and rocketed back up the middle past a diving Beatty into center field, a base hit. So Ramos wins the battle with his 2nd hit of the ball game. And Rafael Devers comes to the plate with the leadoff man on. And nobody out in the 3rd inning in a 3-1 ball game. And before Devers comes to the plate, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is Odyssey Mets Radio on WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
First pitch to Rafael Devers. Fastball on the inside corner, called strike. It's 0-1. Along with Keith Ratt, I'm Pat McCarthy from Oracle Park in San Francisco. Game 1 of 3 between the Mets and the Giants. Game 1 of 6 on this road trip for the Mets. The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike on Rafael Devers. Wide open stance from the left side of the plate. Devers doubled back in the 1st inning, but was stranded at second base. The 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch count continues to climb for Clay Holmes. He's already up to 56. So if the Mets had any hopes of Holmes going deep in this game, 2-1. Drops in a breaking ball for a strike at the bottom of the zone. It's 2-2. The chances of Holmes going deep get smaller and smaller with each pitch that he throws early in this ball game. Ramos leads off first, the 2-2. Swung on, hit the opposite way. Backhand pick by Mauricio. To second for 1, Lindor to first, double play. 5-6-3, the double play. That erases the leadoff single. And Clay Holmes gets the 2 ball, and there's 2 away.
There's good coverage on this play, too, by the Mets, who are in a somewhat of a shift with a lefty up. You have Lindor up the middle. And Ronnie Mauricio, the third baseman, fields this ball right around shortstop, turns to throw to second base, and who's covering? Not the second baseman, but it's Lindor coming down from shortstop. A good job by all parties.
Here's Willie Adames. First pitch hit foul and out of play. It's 0-1. First 5,000 kids under 14 at the August 3rd Mets game against these Giants will get a mini bet, courtesy of Duncan. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. Now that's a great giveaway. The 0-1. Way upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Adames 0 for 1, RBI ground out back in the first. 3-1 Mets, bottom 3. 1-1. Swung on, hit well to the corner and left, and it is down a base hit, and it rolls up against the wall. Adames around first, heading for second. He'll slow up there with a 2-out double. Second hit of the inning against Clay Holmes, and all 3 balls hit this inning have been smoked. And the Giants have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Yeah, just leaving a lot of pitches up. We saw it early. He was missing up with fastballs. This is a hanging breaking ball and everything. If you're a hitter, the old eyes light up with something up in the zone. I mean, you're waiting for a mistake, and Holmes has been giving the Giants just a lot of very hittable pitches.
Here's Chapman with a runner at second base, and the pitch. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Chapman walked in his first plate appearance. That was part of that 33-pitch first inning against Holmes. Runner at second base, 2 outs. Holmes checks on second in the 1-0 pitch. Up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. That was an 89-mile-an-hour cutter from Holmes. Right-hander sets, 2-0 pitch. Drops in a curveball called strike. It's 2-1. Chapman, a longtime member of the Oakland A's. Brief stop with Toronto. Platinum Glove winner over at third. 2-1. Swing a bouncing ball towards third. Mauricio waits for the high hop. Throws across the diamond. It's high. Pulls Alonso off the bag. He can't get the tag down. Chapman safe at first. Adames to third. And the Giants have runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Now, Mauricio's got enough arm. He just needs enough accuracy here. And he fires across and pulls Alonso off the bag. But I tell you what, Pete coming off the bag, reaching for the ball. Did he graze Chapman going by? I was looking at Pete's reaction. The Mets going to challenge this, actually.
Oh, I got him on the top of the helmet.
I was wondering why Pete didn't make any signal at all toward the dugout. But, yeah, I think Chapman's out at first base.
I think that throw took Pete's glove right into Matt Chapman's helmet. So Marvin Hudson along with Tripp Gibson are taking a look back in New York.
I think you're right. So Pete comes off the bag and then reaches high with the glove, and the glove is helmet high. That's Chapman's head, and Pete catches it off the bag. Feeder off the bag. His feet are in midair, and the glove drapes right across Chapman's black helmet. But to the naked eye, I thought, I think maybe they got him, but Pete didn't react at all. You figured to immediately turn and say, take a look at this.
The call on the field is overturned. The runner's out. New York will retain their challenge.
There you go.
So Pete Alonso able to get the tag down on Matt Chapman for the final out in the third. For the Giants, no runs.
There's the bunt. That could be trouble as Petrie. No, Stevie dives in and beats it. Good effort by Steve Lyons.
And that'll be a base hit right there. Good job. I'll tell you one thing, not a bad defensive play either by the Tigers.
Did you see that? He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
Francisco, Mets lead the Giants 3-1. Brett Beatty, Francisco Alvarez, and Ronnie Mauricio against Logan Webb. First pitch from the right-hander misses wide. 1 ball and no strikes on Brett Beatty. 0 for 1 tonight. Went down on strikes back in the second inning. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Counts 1-1. Beatty came into play tonight batting .238 with 11 homers and 33 RBIs. It's been a career season for Brett Beatty. Next pitch swung on, hit sharply back up the middle. Into right center field, a base hit. Beatty takes a turn at first as the throw comes in from Yastrzemski. And the Mets have the leadoff man on for the second time tonight against Logan Webb. And Francisco Alvarez next to the plate here in the top of the fourth inning, sponsored by Cars for Kids. 877 Cars for Kids, that's Cars with a K, to donate your car today. Here's Alvarez with a runner at first. Beatty, big lead off first. First pitch is down and away. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Beatty has stolen 5 bags. He has not been caught yet. However, the argument could be made that the Giants have the best defensive catcher in baseball behind home plate in Patrick Bailey. Webb turns, tosses to first. Beatty back with a dive.
He was one of those guys last year that you didn't really know about him. Still very young, but watching him for 8 seconds, you go, okay, this guy is different. The way his pop times are and how just quickly he releases the ball behind home plate down to second base or third base.
1.88 pop time for Patrick Bailey. 1-0 pitch. Misses outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. For reference, that's second best in baseball, behind only JT Realmuto. Beatty's off first. 2-0 pitch. Drops in a breaking ball, does Webb. It's 2-1. Great shot from SNY in between innings of Ronnie Mauricio going up to Pete Alonso, giving him a big hug. As Pete was able to come down with that baseball, and no error charge to Mauricio after review. 2-1 pitch is up and away. It's 3 balls and 1 strike on Francisco Alvarez.
He kind of draped himself over Pete, whether Pete was hugging back or not. Pete was smiling, but Ronnie was kind of just saying, thank you for saving my life.
Beatty goes from first, 3-1 pitch, swung on, hit back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Beatty hits second, he's on his way to third. Throw goes into second base, and the Mets have something cooking here in the fourth inning against Logan Webb. First and third, nobody out. Here's Ronnie Mauricio.
And more good, patient hitting by Francisco Alvarez. 2-0 pitch, got a really nice breaking ball that he wanted to swing at, decided not to. Got himself back in a good count on 3-1 and just stayed simple. So we've seen Alvarez with walks, seen the doubles, seen the home runs, and now a single to get the Mets here first and third, looking to add on in the fourth inning.
7th hit already for the Mets. Nobody out here in the fourth. Told you at the top of the broadcast, Webb allowed 11 hits against the Blue Jays. First pitch to Mauricio misses in tight. 1 ball and no strikes. That had matched a career high across 6 innings. Ronnie's 0 for 1. Went down on strikes. The infield is back. 1-0 pitch. Down low towards the shoot tops. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
By the way, these are continuing to be counts that favor the Mets. Webb just does not want to throw first pitch strikes. And the reason for that is, as we told you, guys like Lindor and Soto were jumping on the first or second pitch. So Webb has now had to step back and try to be creative with getting strikes.
2-0 pitch. Sails high and wide. 3-0. That one wasn't even close. And Tyrone Taylor is on deck. That's trying to break this game open. Ahead by just 2 runs. It's 3-1, top 4. Mets scored 2 in the first, 1 in the third. Pitch. Inside, he walked him on 4 pitches, and the bases are loaded. And now here's Tyrone Taylor. But first, a visit from J.P. Martinez, the pitching coach for San Francisco.
Webb, just a little bit of reference for what he did to the Mets last year. Made 2 starts against them. Recovered 15 innings. He gave up 9 hits, 1 unearned run, struck out 12 and walked 2. He owned them last year, and it's really not the first time that he's done that. 6 starts in his career, ERA right around 2. Tonight, he is showing some size and some holes. 7 hits already, bases loaded, nobody out. Mets have already scored 3. And if a guy like Webb is off and you've got him, you've got to put him away. This is an inning for the Mets to try to do that with Taylor and then turning over that lineup to the big boys up top.
So here's Tyrone with the bases full and nobody out. Mets ahead 3-1. Top of the 4th inning. First pitch. Right down the middle, a called strike. It's 0-1. Beatty's the runner over at third. Alvarez the runner at second. Mauricio the runner at first. 0-1 the count on Tyrone Taylor. Pitch. Down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyrone's a career .278 hitter with runners in scoring position. One. Inside corner with a sinker, called strike. It's 1-2. Trying to cash in for the Mets and break this game open. Taylor flied to center in his first at-bat. 1-2. Down low, 2-2. Mets have been really patient with Logan Webb tonight. 67 pitches already thrown for the right-hander. 2 hits and a walk in the inning. Webb sets. 2-2 pitch. Swing a bouncing ball towards shortstop. Charging in. Adames flipped to second for 1. Return to first. Not in time. Beatty scores. Alvarez to third. Mauricio out at second base. And an RBI fielder's choice for Tyrone Taylor, and the Mets lead 4-1.
Well, really dangerous. That was exactly what Webb wanted. One thing that he always does have in his back pocket is that sinker, the ground ball. And Taylor almost hit into a big double play, which would not have ended the inning, but certainly would have taken the wind out of the Mets' sails. And Willie Adames makes a great short hop pick charging in. Kind of a do-or-die play, and he gets at least 1 out. But the Mets do grab another run.
So here's Brandon Nimmo with runners at the corners and 1 away. Corners are in, middle is back. Keep an eye on Taylor over at first. Webb thinks so because he tosses over. Taylor back ahead of a tag. Tyrone has 10 stolen bases. He's been caught just once. Taylor goes, pitch to Nimmo, outside, throw to second is not in time. Tyrone has stolen base number 11. That erases the double play. Double play possibility. No challenge from the Giants. And the Mets have second and third with just 1 away.
Oh, you just mentioned Bailey, really good pop time. He does everything right. It's just Taylor gets such a great jump. That is Antoine Richardson helping the base runners time Webb. Logan didn't even pay him a visit, a look, anything. And Taylor took a big secondary lead and then bolted so that a great catcher, you take him out of the equation.
Forces the infield in. 1-0 pitch is swatted foul and out of play. Off the facing of the third deck, 2 hour left. And the count's 1-1. 4-1 Mets, top 4. Second and third, 1 away. Nimmo's 1 for 2 tonight with a run scored. Webb sets the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Challenged him at the top of the zone with 92. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jung-Ho Lee in center field is all the way over to the left center field gap. Yastrzemski is over to the gap in right. 1-2 pitch is down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, if Nimmo hooks one to the corner and right, he is going to run for days. Yastrzemski is all the way over towards Triple's alley and right. 2-2 the count with 1 away. Alvarez at third, Taylor over at second. Pitch. Swung on, hit the opposite way and down into left center field, a base hit. Alvarez scores. Here comes Taylor. The throw by Lee on a couple of hops, not in time. It's a 2-run single for Brandon Nimmo, and the Mets take a 6-1 lead in the 4th inning.
Well, we've seen it all night. Situational hitting by this Mets team that has struggled with men in scoring position. That number isolated has been poor all year, not tonight. We've seen the hits, we've seen sac flies, we've seen RBI groundouts. Anything the Mets want right now, they're getting. And tell you what, with Tyrone Taylor, you steal second base, take the double play out, but you put one of the fastest guys on the roster at second base. He scored without a throw.
Here's Lindor. First pitch is away. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, we told you about the positioning of the defense. Jung-Ho Lee was positioned perfectly.
I was going to say, not without a throw, just without a throw being close at home plate for Tyrone Taylor.
Nimmo dances off first. He goes. Pitch. Outside corner, called strike, throw to second high, and not in time. Another stolen base for the Mets. Number 12 for Brandon Nimmo. They are running for days on Logan Webb.
And as soon as Webb delivered the pitch and Bailey threw down over his head, Webb was ducking, of course, to let the throw go down to second base, but you can kind of tell as soon as he looked and saw another runner was safe, he shook his head because that's on him. It's not on the catcher. He's got to be quicker to the plate. He's got to pay attention to somebody on base.
1-1 pitch. Lindor hits it foul and out of play off to the left. Counts 1-2. Lindor's 2 for 2 tonight. He has scored a couple of runs. He has singled and homered. 6-1 Mets here in the 4th inning. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Chased a breaking ball in the dirt. Lindor down on strikes for the second out. And that brings Juan Soto to the plate. Scoreboard update brought to you by the New York Lottery. Play the new scratch-off games for your chance to win. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. The Athletics beat the Astros 15-3. I should say Nick Kurtz beat the Astros 15-3 because the rookie was 6 for 6 with 4 home runs. First pitch to Soto, swung on and missed. It's 0-1. 19 total bases. Ties Sean Green's Major League record set back on May 23rd of 2002 as a member of the Dodgers. He was also 6 for 6 with 4 home runs. The 0-1 swung on and slashed the opposite way, foul, and into the second deck. It's 0-2. That is what we call an impressive night.
It'll be a good month for one of these hitters. 6 for 6. 19 total bases in one day is incredible.
0-2 the count on Soto with a runner at second. Webb ready, the pitch. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wyatt saw they had hit 3 home runs. All of a sudden, you flashed your phone over to me, or he did it again?
He's a rookie.
1-2. Strike 3 called, got him looking at the top of the zone. So Webb comes back with back-to-back strikeouts, but not before the damage was
Current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Do all your grocery shopping right from your own dugout. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com, use promo code FANSGET10, and get $10 off your first order of $50. Plus, your first delivery is free. That's shop.foodbazaar.com.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Mets lead the Giants 6-1. Clay Holmes' first pitch to Mike Yastrzemski. In for a strike, it's 0-1. So a 5-run cushion for the Mets right-hander. A 1 pitch. Swung on, popped up foul and out of play, just off to our left. 0-2. And for Holmes, he can just attack with a 5-run lead. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, brought to you by Route 4 Hyundai in Paramus, New Jersey. Yastrzemski calls for time. Fly to right field back in the first inning. That was a 33-pitch first for Clay Holmes. Giants have hit him around, but he's been able to limit just the 1 run so far. The 0-2. Down and away with a changeup, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Mike Yastrzemski, the proud father of his son Mike, and his daughter's name is Quinley. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Figured you'd enjoy that.
1-2. It's down and in, 2 balls and 2 strikes. How about that? I'm going to have to ask him about that.
I think you should.
Yeah. 2-2. Down low, 3-2. You told me you had something for me.
Do you remember the first time you found out there was another Patrick when you were a kid? Like the first time somebody else had your name.
Yeah, Patrick Dawes. I remember it.
It kind of freaks you out as a kid, right? Because you think you're the only one in the world.
3-2 pitch. Swing a ground ball hit towards the middle. Backhand stop by Beatty. Second baseman Plamps throws the first. 1 away.
So your daughter's Quinley, Quinny. We like, Q's quick too, but you and Mike, yes.
Yeah. There aren't many out there.
You got 2 clubhouses to go figure it out.
All right.
Get down.
Challenge accepted. Here's Wilmer Flores. 0 for 1. First pitch. Outside. 1 ball and no strikes. I wonder if he calls his daughter Quinny the Pooh. 1-0 pitch to Flores. In for a strike. It's 1-1. Sweeper came in at 81 miles an hour. Sponsored by Spectrum. Life moves and so should your connections. Get faster, reliable speeds at the network that moves with you. Spectrum. Next pitch is fouled off at home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You've always said there aren't many Keiths in the world. What was your first impression of another Keith?
I think my mother was explaining the Rolling Stones to me because my name is Keith Richard Rad, and all my teachers would say, "Your parents love the Stones?"
Wow.
I said, "The Who?"
1-2. Down and away. 2-2.
And they'd say, "No, not the Who, the Stones." I got a whole. I've lived this, believe me. Not the first time I heard that.
2-2. Swing a ground ball hit towards third, foul. Still 2-2.
But Quinley is not a common name. I mean, it's not like one of those names you go, "Oh, I've never not heard that before," but it's unique.
It is unique. There's not enough pitches to break that one down, though.
That's okay.
So Holmes steps off. Timeout's called at home plate.
Quinny's probably sleeping, right?
I would hope so. 2-2. Ground ball hit sharply towards shortstop. Bobbled by Lindor. Pick up with a bare hand. Throw to first in time for out number 2. Flores, of course, does not run very well, so Francisco had plenty of time to throw out Flores. 2 outs, and here's Jung-Ho Lee.
Even now, Wilmer's taken a pretty long time to labor his way back across the diamond, over the mound, over the chalk to the third base dugout. Come on, Wilmer, get up. Get up with that 6.
Yeah, there's no rush. There's Jung-Ho Lee. First pitch. In for a strike. It's 0-1. Holmes trying for his second 1-2-3 inning of the night. Mets with a 6-1 lead, bottom 4. Holmes is 0-1. Swinging a ground ball hit towards first. Backhand pick by Alonso. Flip to Holmes covering at the bag. And time for the final out. Second, 3-1 put out of Jung-Ho Lee.
Left center, Profar sprints over. Oh, he lost it.
He did not see that ball. He didn't even come close to it.
These interactions between De La Cruz and Tito Francona have been priceless.
Come on, man. You got it there? Yes, indeed. And the ball wasn't the only thing that landed in the basket.
What in the world happened out there to Jung-Ho Lee?
That's wild. I mean, you don't see that in the big leagues.
Warriors.com. AZEK, made in America, built to last.
The first inning is brought to you by Denso First Time Fit Auto Parts. They fit the first time and every time. Denso Auto Parts are available at Parts Authority, where the answer is yes.
Top of the 5th inning, Mets lead the Giants 6-1. Keith?
A new pitcher in there for the Giants is right-hander Tristan Beck. So game 1 of this 3-game set. Mets are to the bullpen in the 5th inning. Beck, the right-hander's first pitch to Alonso. He swings in, gulps one toward the left side. Caught it short on a leap by Willie Adames. The low liner that was rising, and Willie at short rose with it and got up to make the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out as Pete is retired. So Beck comes into the game. Hard-throwing right-hander from Southern California. He's from Corona. We are up here in Northern California in San Francisco. 6-1 Mets, top of the 5th. Here's McNeil. Jeff 0 for 2. The left-hand hitter. The righty's first. Missed outside with ball 1. 5th inning is sponsored by Elec 825, building our future. Good start for the Mets. 6 runs against Logan Webb. Back from the belt, 1-0. Swing and a miss. McNeil got fooled by a good slider, and it's 1-1. Final line on Logan Webb. 6 runs, 8 hits in 4 innings. Walked 1, struck out 4. But I told you those numbers lifetime, and recently, Webb against the Mets, they've been dominating. The 1-1. Jeff takes the breaking ball inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, recently, Webb has been slumping, if you will. Pitchers sometimes have a tendency to do that, but he's been beaten up the last 3 outings, including tonight. 2-1. Missed inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. And pitchers are so much different, of course, than hitters. Hitters are like a volatile stock market, ups and downs, and you've got your numbers right through the middle of that. 3-1. Taken at the knees for a strike, and McNeil flips his bat in frustration. He turned to throw the bat like he had walked, but then when strike was called, he flipped the bat in protest. Jeff wears his heart on his sleeve. I'm surprised Marvin didn't give him kind of a look there. That was a little much for McNeil, who's still kind of pouting. So 3-2. Beck deals. And a pitch ripped foul to the right side. It stays 3-2. Jeff has flown out to center. He's also grounded out to second base. Brett Beatty waits on deck. So Logan Webb Part of this good Giants rotation falters tonight. Payoff pitch from Tristan Beck. Here it comes. And it's squibbed up the first baseline. It is a foul ball. I guess it hit his body and rolled out. It looked like it was fouled into foul territory there in the dirt and then rolled back into the grass, but it hit off Jeff's foot. That says 3-2. Where our broadcast booth is behind home plate, we're just a little bit up the third base side, so we can really see right field well. Left field is we can see down the right field line better than left field. So with a lefty up, it's hard to see in front of a lefty hitter's body. Beck's payoff, and that's low ball for us. So McNeil does end up walking and forces Tristan Beck to throw a lot of pitches. Mets ahead 6-1, top of the fifth, 1 on, 1 out. Brett Beatty coming up. Again, this is Tristan Beck out there, second-year Giant. Beatty hit his last time up, now hits it 7 straight ball games. A lefty batter, first pitch. Pins the outside corner with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-1. Tristan Beck, former Atlanta Brave minor leaguer, was traded at the deadline 2019. So going on 6 years ago from Mark Melancon. Remember him? Very hurt at the end of his career. 0-1 pitch, tap foul to the right side, and the count 0-2. And we are less than a week from the trade deadline. The Mets made a move today for lefty Gregory Soto, reliever from the Baltimore Orioles. Lefty, hard-throwing lefty. He is not here tonight. Baltimore was home, so I'm sure they had to put together, first of all, they had to make the deal official, the physicals, the whole thing, and then once that was set, then get him on a plane out here. And no rush to get him into a game. They also will have to make a roster move to get him on the roster. The hold in the 0-2. Beatty pulls it foul to the right, and it stays no balls and 2 strikes. But David Stern spoke earlier today, president of baseball operations. He is out here with the team, and of course, busybody on the phone. Still talking about, the lay of the land right now as we are, next Thursday, so still 6 games for most teams before the deadline. 0-2. Missed away. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, David was asked a bunch of different questions about what it looks like right now, and are things getting clearer, he was asked, and he said, no, it's still murky. A lot of teams are just taking this weekend. They'll know by Sunday whether they're in or they're out. 0-1-2. Missed up high. 2-2 on Brett Beatty. The Mets bolstered their bullpen. They're not done bolstering their bullpen. There was some, at least comments from David today that some of us said, maybe the Mets are in for a starting pitcher. 2-2. Flick down the left field line, slicing toward the seats and foul out of play. That stays 2-2. David did kind of mention if they were to add a starter, they'd like to have a starter with a very high ceiling, which is basically like saying we want the best of the best out there. The high ceiling is no higher you can go than the ceiling kind of thing. So an ace-level pitcher. Well, that's kind of new from what David said last week back at Citi Field. Runner at first, 1 out, 2-2 to Beatty. Missed away. Beck is running full now, 3-2 on Brett. So I think it's just newer. I don't think the Mets really are committed. We need a starter, but they may go get one. It doesn't hurt to get, especially an ace-level starter. Who will it be, though, if they do go get one? 3-2 is swatted foul the other way. And then, of course, is the conversation about a bat. Center field, preferably. Tyrone Taylor and Jose Siri were supposed to be the tandem. Siri has only played a couple weeks' worth of games. He may not be back at all. And Tyrone Taylor has struggled with the bat. But Jeff McNeil's been playing some center field. Payoff. Got him looking. Beck fools Beatty at the end there with a backdoor sweeper and strikes him out after a long 9-pitch at bat. 2 down in the 5th. Mets ahead of the Giants 6-1. And Francisco Alvarez coming up. I think David not changed his tune, but was a little bit more bullish on starting pitcher today than he was on a bat. First pitch to Alvarez misses inside with ball 1. They still may go out and get a bat. But I think the last time David spoke versus this time, as things change, phone calls are had and made. I think David is more comfortable with the position player group that is here. Here's the 1-0. And that's low. 2 balls and no strikes. Jeff playing center field has been helpful. Tyrone is certainly more of the glove man in that category. And the way the kids are playing, Mauricio, Beatty, Alvarez, and how Acuna can kind of get in there, stick his nose in there, have changed, I think, the view of what the Mets might need. Because even tonight, like the Angels series, the bottom of the lineup has had not only life, but a lot of production. And that totally makes this lineup different and better. 2-0 pitch. Behind the catcher, gets by Bailey, and so down to second goes McNeil. Well, maybe a cross up there. Bailey's usually a wall, but somehow, some way, it got by him. And it's called a pass ball. So, again, Patrick Bailey, not a catcher that has a lot of those. A pass ball is the catcher's fault. A wild pitch is, of course, the pitcher's fault. And so that moves the man into scoring position. 3-0 on Alvarez with Mauricio on deck. Pitch. Hit hard to shortstop. Adames to his right. Picks it up. Sets. Fires. Got him. Inning over. Beck throws a scoreless fifth for the Giants. Halfway through the ball.
A moment just for you. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly.
Relive Mets history today in every game, powered by #1 Westbury Toyota.
We go to the bottom of the fifth inning at Oracle Park in San Francisco. The Mets have a 5-run lead. It is 6-1 New York. Clay Holmes facing the bottom of the lineup, starting with the 8-man Casey Schmidt. First pitch, righty to righty. In for a strike, threw him a sinker. And it's 0-1. Holmes all of a sudden looking at 80 pitches right now, so certainly toward the end of his outing, but trying to get through 5. 0-1. Foul back and a count 0-2. At the end of the first inning, where he threw 33 pitches, I had no idea how far he would go in this game. Right now, getting through 5 is certainly a major moral victory. Mets don't have anybody throwing yet in their bullpen. 0-2. A little bit high, missed with a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schmidt, Bailey, then the top. The Mets have almost hit 3 times through. The Giants are working on their second time through. 1-2. Bender misses low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Schmidt 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Giants have been held to 1 run on 4 hits, and the 1 run and 2 of the 4 hits came in that first inning. That was a mess. 2-2 misses low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Schmidt, kind of role player off the bench for the Giants. He'll bounce up and down from here in AAA Sacramento. Payoff. Hit the other way, base hit going into right field. Now Beatty was slid up the middle at second base, and so Schmidt slid it past him a little further between Beatty and Alonso. So he's on base. It'll bring up the switch hitting catcher, Patrick Bailey, batting left. Now is the perfect time to get a Peerless Boiler. Don't wait. Go to peerlessboilers.com for more information and an installer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers. Mets 6, Giants 1, bottom of the 5th. Bailey, the only strikeout victim tonight for Clay Holmes. Pitch. Fouled straight back. The count 0-1. So I was talking about David Stearns there and maybe getting a starting pitcher. There may be an avenue for the Mets for that. I think one of the reasons why is because as you take stock of the starters, there are bodies in the room. 0-1. Bender in there for a strike, 0-2. But
And a lot of this, David said today, you know, Sean Manaea is not totally stretched out. Kodai Senga not totally stretched out. And what in the world are the Mets going to do with Clay Holmes in all these innings? 0-2 pitch. Line the other way, foul down the left field side. It stays 0-2. Well, I don't have to get into all the craziness now, but it is certainly on David's mind, and I guess on the tip of his tongue more than it was in press conferences past. And in this series, it'll be David Peterson. Mets haven't had to worry about him. He'll go tomorrow. Kodai Senga will go on Sunday. And then the other part of that will be Frankie Montas coming up in San Diego. 0-2. Missed outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A take tonight, for instance. Clay Holmes, where is he in his season? A lot of strikeouts early. Pulled back on the strikeouts. He has 1 tonight. Almost 2 times through the lineup. That's certainly signs of ineffectiveness at times. The 1-2 is lined to the right side, past the diving Beatty, going into right field. Schmidt to second. He's there as Soto fields and fires in. 2 singles from the bottom of the order have made it first and second. And nobody out. Top of the order coming up. And here is Jeremy Hefner, who's out for a chat. Slow down in action brought to you by Iservay. For Holmes, he loves contact outs, gets a lot of balls on the ground. But just 1 strikeout tonight shows you the swing and miss stuff, the sharpness, the crispness of all the stuff has not been sustained from April. I know a lot of people thought it would be sustained, but he's over 112 innings now. He said his goal was about 160. He's getting deeper and deeper into the season, deeper into this game, too. He's at 90 pitches as Jeremy Hefner is out there having a conversation with him. But who knows what the future holds for Holmes? Is a bullpen spot in his future. Will he be a starter the whole way? All these things are swirling around the minds of the Mets front office right now. I'm watching him carefully outing by outing to see what the future may hold. Speaking of the future, Huáscar Brazoban is throwing in the Met bullpen. 6-1 New York in the 5th, but 2 on, nobody out for the top of the order for the Giants. Here's Ramos. Pitch. Up and in. That misses, and it's ball 1. We are coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. Infield back around to the left. Holmes deals. Up and in again, he missed. Ball 2. Ramos tonight in the leadoff spot, an infield single. And then an outfield single, if you will, to center field. So he's 2 for 2. Beatty keeping the runner close at second. Holmes ready. Here's his pitch. Chopped toward third. Foul on the line. And it's 2-1. Ramos in this leadoff spot. They've used Jung-Hoo Lee. They've used Lamont Wade Jr., who the Mets just saw playing with the Angels. They've tried to find somebody to lead this thing off. And Ramos has had really good moments at times. Holmes looking for a ground ball. 2 on, nobody out. The 2-1. Popped him up. That'll work too. Lindor out to shallow center. Infield fly is on. Lindor backpedaling. Makes the 2-hand catch in shallow center field. So it is an infield fly as well. Oh, Lindor could have let that one drop at his feet. It still would have counted as an out. And now here's Rafael Devers. Devers has game-changing power, of course. So that's a dangerous hitter. Holmes is right there at 94 pitches. Facing the lefty. Lefties have given him some trouble. Devers a double and a double play ball. 1 out, 2 on. Pitch. Missed outside with ball 1. Holmes would obviously absolutely love a double play right here. Get through 5. Don't tax the bullpen in the first game of a West Coast 6-game trip. With Brazoban throwing. Runners lead first and second. 1-0. Missed up high. 2-0 on Devers. Devers, Adames, Chapman. A nasty group to see in an alley right now for Holmes. Even though the Mets have a 6-1 lead, so much game left to be played. Mets have won 4 straight. Giants have come in, having won 2 in a row. They finished up in Atlanta and outscored the Braves the last 2 games 18-3. Big offensive display. 2-0 pitch. Over the outside corner. He spun a sweeper for a strike, and it's 2-1. Taylor in center is a touch the other way against the lefty. Infield is around to the right. 2-1. Missed away. Once again, a hitter's count for Devers. 3 balls and a strike. Adames on deck. He also has a double tonight. 6-1 New York. Giants threatening. 3-1. In for a strike. He took the sweeper, and it's 3-2. Speaking of seeing Devers in a bad spot, the Mets are going to see the Giants at home next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So a lot of head-to-heads. Payoff. Fouled into the middle. He got him swinging strike 3. What a colossal strikeout for Clay Holmes. 2 outs in the 5th. Just his 2nd strikeout of the night. And he gets the biggest, baddest hitter for the Giants. Well, that'll bring up Willie Adames. And that is the kind of strikeout late in an outing, late in a season, for a reliever turned starter. So again, further in his innings than he's been in years for Clay Holmes. That is a big reach back and blow one by you. Pitch to Adames, swing and a miss. High fastball, 0-1. Willie has doubled. He's also driven in a run with an RBI ground out. He's one of the reasons why Holmes' pitch count is so high. He had a 10-pitch at bat in the 1st inning. 0-1. Missed down low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
3rd time this season that Holmes has gone over the 100 pitch count. 104 is his career high. That was against Atlanta back on June 19th.
So this next one will be 103s. 1st and 2nd, 2 outs. 6-1 Mets in the 5th. The 1-1 missed inside right near his body, and it's 2 balls and a strike. This has got to be it for Holmes. Last batter. And this is a push, in a sense, for Carlos Mendoza, but a good push. You have a 5-run lead. Get out there, get over the 100-pitch mark, and get the last out of the inning. The 2-1. Popped up towards second base. Beatty has a beat, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Clay Holmes into and out of trouble, and probably all done. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left.
Security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Back here in Northern California, 6-1 Met lead over the San Francisco Giants. Ronnie Mauricio leads off for New York, switch hitter batting left. Tristan Beck, the right-hander, faces the lefty. First pitch. Breaking ball, snaps in for a strike, a curve, and it's 0-1. Mauricio, Taylor, then Nimmo, 8-9-1. Mets have 6 runs on 8 hits. Mauricio is a single and a walk tonight. Here's the 0-1. Hit hard right side, picked on 2 hops by Devers at first. He runs to the bag in time, and there's 1 away. Now, Devers playing in just his 2nd game at first base. Remember, that was a really big drama in Boston. One of the reasons why he is here right now wearing orange instead of wearing that Boston white and a little red is that when the Red Sox signed Alex Bregman, they just assumed Devers would go play first or DH, and he didn't like that at all. Here's Taylor, first pitch. Line toward left field. Ramos in, stops, and makes the catch. And even that line drive right at Ramos looked like a mild adventure, but 2 up and 2 down quickly. And Nimmo coming up. If Nimmo can reach, Francisco Lindor will get a chance to hit. And Lindor is Who's on Deck, brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Now Nimmo, 2 for 3. 2-run single, run scored, stolen base. Has been a full night for Brandon Nimmo. He and the Mets have a 6-1 lead, top of the 6th inning. Chapman in a couple steps at third base. 6-1 New York. First pitch. Missed outside with ball 1. Where the Giants are in their season as well. We mentioned they're a wild card team. Adding at the deadline, let's assume they brought in Devers here. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball, strike outside corner, 1-1. They still have not been kind of clicking on all cylinders, so they are just a couple days removed from their own closed-door team meeting that they had during the last road trip. So again, the Mets had that after Pittsburgh. The 1-1. Fouled straight back, and it's 1-2. Before they brought Devers in, just kind of a little midway point. They're 10 games over 500, 41-31. Since Devers has been here, again, after a big splashy move, they're just 13-18 are the Giants. Beck's 1-2. Nimmo lines it the other way. Foul. Slicing out of play. And so it stays 1-2. The Giants are now being run by one of their legends, Buster Posey, catcher, World Series champion, and the new president of baseball operations. People have loved what Buster's done this year. 1-2. Check swing, he went around. Nimmo strikes out, ball in the dirt. Bailey picks it up. The catcher whips it to first at Devers in time for the strikeout and 2-3 putout. So Tristan Beck has settled things down.
You were hoping to hit a lot of homers this season, Sagittarius, and so far your goal is in sight. The fans and aspiring players are clamoring to know how you smashed the ball so far. So take this time to share all of your tips with your adoring audience. Everyone will be eternally grateful that you were so generous with your career-defining skills.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out, kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, Can of Corn.
Easy fly ball.
Time to get a high-efficiency Peerless boiler. Start saving now and upgrade today. Find the Peerless boiler that's right for your home or business, as well as your list of local installers at PeerlessBoilers.com. Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers.
Bottom of the 6th inning, and San Francisco Mets ahead 6-1 in the opener of this 3-game set. He's Pat McCarthy. My name is Keith Rad, and the new pitcher's name is Huáscar Brazoban. First pitch to Matt Chapman. He is in for a strike, 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-1. 5 innings tonight out of Clay Holmes. Not bad considering he threw 33 pitches in the first. 0-1, dots the outside corner again, 97 that time. And it's 0-2, and Chapman quickly takes his time. Holmes, kind of amazingly, right? On 1 run over 5 innings with 6 hits. 0-2.
Line the other way, hanging up though for Soto, who walks in and makes the catch chest high. There's one away as we come to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. And Pat, there's been a lot of this where Holmes will be in a sticky spot or get out of it, or a lot of traffic, get out of it, and you look and you go, oh, 2 runs over 5, a run over 6. He still is pretty good at limiting damage.
No question.
Pitch to Yastrzemski, the lefty, takes outside, ball 1.
Remember last year with David Peterson, we kept having that conversation? A lot of base runners. Tyler McGill, same thing. A lot of base runners. ERA's low. They make pitches when they have to.
1-0. Down and in, 2 balls, no strikes.
And a lot of times we said, is it sustainable? Because when there's traffic, a lot of times eventually there will be runs. But I mean, right now, for Clay Holmes, there haven't been.
2-0. In for a strike. 2-1. Now, Clay's lowered his season ERA to 3.40. I mean, that's, for a first-year starter, great. I mean, we're singing his praises, no doubt, but also talking about some issues. 2-1, pulled foul to the right. 2-2 is that on July 25th, he's giving you 1 run over 5. What is he going to do for you on October 15th? Where will he be in his physical season at that point? All the workload. 2-2, missed outside. A count full on Yastrzemski, who is 0 for 2. Pace of the game brought to you by Optimum Fiber. Don't take slow for an answer. That's a very long first inning where the Mets took a 2-1 lead. 2 in the top of the first. Giants are running the bottom of the first. But after that, we have been off and moving. They're on a windy night in San Francisco. 6-1 Mets. Payoff. Hit hard to second base. Luis Angel Acuna reaches down with a backhand and muffs it. E4. Acuna moving to his right, had plenty of room. I would imagine plenty of time. It has not been called an E4 yet, but it probably will be. They called it a base hit. Well, that's polite. So, okie dokie.
Well, that's
what do you got on that one,
scored.
Patrick?
Well, based on the fact that I had looked down and wrote 4-3 in my scorebook.
The first pitch to Flores is fouled off for a strike. So you didn't even hang in long enough to see the ball go into the glove.
I did not even hang in long enough to watch Acuna field the baseball. I had written 4-3 in. Fortunately, I had not gotten as far to write E4 in. Otherwise, my whiteout would be completely out.
Here's the 0-1. Flores check swing, appeal to first. He went around, says Tripp Gibson. And it's 0-2, so
I don't know.
You and I are both wrong.
I just rewatched it. I mean, that's an E4, right? Like, scoring changes is going to be on X within 24 hours explaining why that was changed.
Brasaban's 0-2. Flores swings, pops it up behind home plate. Alvarez turns, walking to the warning track, has room, makes the catch. So Alvarez makes the grab right in front of the first row. Flores is 0 for 3. 2 outs, runner at first. Jung-Hoo Lee coming up. By the way, Acuna is at second base. Brad Beatty went from second to third. Ronnie Mauricio, after that last at bat in the 6th, is out of the game. The reason for that, Mets are up 6-1, so they're getting their defensive unit in, which is why it was head-scratching that Acuna missed the first one. Here's Jung-Hoo Lee. First pitch in for a strike. Snapped to the first base. Not in time. Alonso's tag on Yastrzemski diving back in is late. 0-1 though on Lee.
You follow scoring changes on Twitter?
I don't think so. 0-1. Fouled off. Big rip, and it's 0-2. I probably do.
They are a great account to follow. It's MLB scoring changes, and they basically go through and break down every single play and why it was scored, what it was, and whether it was changed or not. Timeout because there's a baseball in center field. But if there's ever a question and you wonder why a play was scored one way or why a play was changed from an error to a hit to an error, they'll break it all down. It's really great.
Bottom of the 6th, runner at first, 0-2, 2 outs. Brasaban from the belt, the pitch. Lee hits it hard inside, third the other way, base hit going into left field along the line. Nimmo over to cut it off, but he drops the ball. And now the runner at third base, Yastrzemski, stops after a big wide turn. Nimmo fired in toward the plate. So it's a double down the left field line for Lee. He's at second. Yastrzemski went first to third. The ball again was inside the line. It went down toward the grass. Nimmo went to pick it up in foul ground along the warning track, very deep in left field, but he didn't. He went to pick it up and didn't pick it up at all. And Yastrzemski thought he was going to get sent and held up.
Well, we nearly had a 3-car pileup over at third between Junior Valentine, Matt Williams, and Yastrzemski.
First pitch to Schmidt, a little high with ball one.
All three were moving in different places and nearly collided with each other.
Mets by 5. Bottom of the 6th, runners at second and third for Schmidt. The 1-0 fouled back, and it's 1-1. So Brazoban, remember that ground ball to Acuna that was called a hit probably should have been converted to an out. So he's thrown extra pitches in the inning with 2 outs. The 1-1. Schmidt rips it foul down third. He pulled it, got in front of that changeup, and it's 1-2. Visit MLBshop.com for the largest and latest selection of jerseys, caps, accessories to keep you in the game all year long. Gear up, game on at MLBshop.com, the official source of your Mets. 1-2, check swing. He did not go on the pitch down, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dark night sky here in California. San Francisco Bay out beyond the outfield wall in center and right. 2-2. Missed away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The video board in center field at Oracle Park is a widescreen, as if you turned your phone and went widescreen. That's what it looks like. Big orange board. 2 big light stanchions on top. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Got Schmidt on strikes, and Brazoban does a bang-up job to leave second and third after some defensive miscues behind it.
There's so much history right here, and when I put it on, and it's so light, it just feels just right. It feels just right. I mean, look at this. It got the city on it. When I was 7 years old, my uncle takes me where? To Shea Stadium. Darryl Strawberry hits a home run, and I become a fan for life.
Is dedicated to providing high-quality parts and accessories to four-wheel drive and camping enthusiasts. Prospect parts and accessories are available at Parts Authority Auto Parts Superstores, where the answer is yes.
7th inning at Oracle Park. Mets still in front 6-1. New pitcher on for the Giants is a former Mets farmhand, lefty Matt Gage here, Pat.
And he'll face Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, and Pete Alonso in the 7th inning. First pitch to Lindor, batting from the right side, is in for a strike. It's 0-1. Matt Gage, 32-year-old left-hander, 6'3", 265. As Keith mentioned, was in the Mets organization last year. The 0-1, inside towards the shoe tops, and Lindor dances out of the way. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. I guess you'd call him a paper Met because he was recalled a couple of times but never actually appeared in a game for the Mets?
We like our paper Mets.
We sure do. 1-1. Down and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Played his college ball at Siena. 10th round pick of the Giants back in 2014. 2-1. Ground ball hit foul, third base side. 2-2. Debuted with Toronto in 2022. Made 11 appearances. Did not appear in a big league game last year. 8 appearances this season between the Tigers and the Giants. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Lindor down on strikes. 1 away in the top of the 7th. That brings Juan Soto to the plate. But Gage wears number 93, which is more of a defensive end than a pitcher. He is the first Giant in history to wear number 93. First pitch to Soto, swung on, popped up foul and out of play, off to our right. Counts no balls at 1 strike. There have only been a handful of players in baseball history to wear number 93. There has been 1 Met to wear number 93. He wore a couple of numbers with the Mets. The 0-1, swung on, popped up. Shallow center field. Schmidt, the second baseman, out. He calls everybody off to make the catch. And 2 away, which brings up Pete Alonso, the Mets cleanup hitter, brought to you by Roto-Rooter. Leave plumbing to the pros at Roto-Rooter.
Oh, the other one that you're referencing is our buddy Grant Hartwig, who just signed to play overseas. Number 93.
Then went on to wear number 56. Here's Pete. First pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Grant Hartwig just signed to play in the Nippon Professional Baseball League over in Japan. 1-0 pitch is grounded foul. It's 1-1. Saw J.D. Davis just signed over in Japan as well.
Okay.
Former Giant, former Met. Grant Hartwig's going to wear number 82 over in Japan, in case anybody had that bingo card ready. 1-1 pitch. Pete takes high. 2 balls, 1 strike. 6-1 Mets, top 7. Two 1 pitch. Pete swings and grounds 1 to short. Adames a step to his left field and throws to first in time for the out. And Matt Gage has a 1-2-3 top of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. 6-1 Mets stretch time here in San Francisco.
pet emergency experience, not only will you see an experienced veterinarian right away, but you will stay with your pet the entire time. Visit veg.com to find the location nearest you. Veg ER for Pets, the official emergency veterinarian group of Mets Radio.
Bottom of the 7th inning here in San Francisco. Rico Garcia is the new pitcher for the Mets. He'll face Patrick Bailey in the top of the Giants order in a 6-1 game. First pitch, Bailey swings and pops it up. First base side, couple of steps out of the outfield grass goes Alonso. He's there and makes the catch. One pitch, one away to start the bottom of the 7th inning for Rico Garcia. And that flips the order for Elliot Ramos. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the Authority, the New York Mets, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Mets. He's Keith Ratt. I'm Pat McCarthy from Oracle Park in San Francisco. 6-1 Mets, bottom 7. Garcia's first pitch to Ramos. Upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Rico Garcia, the 31-year-old right-hander out of Honolulu. 4 appearances this season. He's thrown the ball well, but he's bounced around from the Mets to the Yankees, back to the Mets. 1-0 pitch is swung on and served towards the gap in left center field. Nimmo on the run, cruises to the spot, makes the catch. For out number 2, and that brings Rafael Devers to the plate. 2 up and 2 down for Garcia. Injury update brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, the game plan is simple. Just go to injurylawyer.com. Paul Blackburn is expected to make another start for AAA Syracuse. Carlos Mendoza said earlier today he is feeling well. Mets are continuing to build him up as a starter. Here's Devers' first pitch, in for a strike. It's 0-1. Carlos also said pregame, no update yet on Jesse Winker, who received that epidural in his back. Mets are hopeful that they can get their left-handed DH back. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, hit foul, back to the netting. It's 0-2. It certainly feels like the Mets have not had Jesse Winker all season. Whether it was the oblique and then the back injury. 0-2 the counter, Rafael Devers. Garcia trying for a lightning fast bottom of the 7th. Right-hander's ready to go. And the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with 95 up in the zone. And a 1-2-3 7th inning for Rico Garcia. Punctual.
So Rockies is really like where my major league career really took off. You know, it was a special time in my life, 7 years with the team. And this jersey in particular, 2018 postseason patch on it here. So I've always kept all these jerseys with the patch on them because that's what it's all about, is getting to the playoffs and trying to win the championship. You know, the black jersey with the cutoff, not a lot of teams rock the cutoff anymore, but this is a jersey we wore all the time in Colorado.
Boomer is the dog. Said he looked good. I just followed his picture all the way. And there he is. Boomer's dad.
That was kind of a change from the everyday thing that we normally do as far as baseball cards are concerned.
Hey, I have a Labrador. Where's my card?
You know, a little bit different, and it turned out to be a fun experience.
It was just when the camera crew tried to leave that there was a problem. You can't leave.
I want to ask you about food. What is something that you have to eat to be the judge?
Oh, Aaron Judge! Send him to Monument Park now!
Oh, we got some good chefs in New York. They've been cooking up some nice chopped cheeses, and that kind of, it gets you, yeah. I don't know if I should tell the kids that. They should be eating chopped cheese before a game.
Before the game, probably steak. That's usually what I go to.
A little steak, no vegetables.
No vegetables?
No vegetables.
Is it straight protein?
Yeah.
Not realizing its potential, however, could be. Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
Back here in San Francisco, Spencer Bivens is the new pitcher for the Giants, Keith.
They'll face McNeil, Beatty, and Alvarez. Mets ahead 6-1 in the opener of this three-game series. Bivens, tall righty with those black socks pulled up. First pitch to Jeff. Missed in tight. 1 ball, no strikes. Jeff in our fifth batter spotlight tonight, sponsored by Key Food. Look for all your favorite products at your local Key Food. Key Food and their family of supermarkets. 1-0. Missed low and in. 2 balls and no strikes. So it is Bivens that takes over for Matt Gage. Gage through a scoreless 7th inning. Mets have not scored since the 4th. Here's the 2-0. At the knees, called strike, 2-1. But as Mads reminded me, politely and with a smile on his face, as Pat was talking about Matt Gage wearing number 93. There's the 2-1. Popped up, right side of the infield, to shallow right. Schmidt at second base makes the two-hand catch for the first out. I said, I'm not the only Giant to wear 93. Chase Blackburn wore 93, baby, when he picked off Tommy Boy in the Super Bowl. Big Blue. Those are called the golden days, kids. Giants have done a whole lot of losing since then, but not that night. Here's Beatty, first pitch. Tap back to the mound, grabbed by Bivens on a hop, underhand flip to first, 2 down.
Can you believe it's training camp already?
Yeah, I honestly couldn't believe today when my wife said, "Who's on Hard Knocks this year?" I go, "We're in a playoff race. What are you talking about, Hard Knocks?" Trade deadline, 6 days away.
It is the NFC East, isn't it? I think it's a collective unit.
I think it's, is it? I saw Buffalo Bills.
I don't know.
Pitch to Alvarez. He takes a strike. It's 0-1.
That's right. It is Buffalo.
She's looking for something to do between putting the baby down and then when the Met game starts. Here's the 0-1. Strike on the outside corner. 0-2.
You know, I've never watched an episode of Hard Knocks.
It's phenomenal.
Well, you know.
Never?
I was watching Everybody Loves Raymond.
It's like a rite of passage for the season to start. You have to watch Hard Knocks. 0-2. Missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
By the way, we were all
right. The 8th.
Bills preseason, NFC East in season.
No one watches the in-season Hard Knocks.
Well, maybe I will this year.
It's the windup for the 1-2. And that's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Saw somewhere that the New York Football Giants, of course, Maginai's team, 5.5 wins is the over-under. Ooh. Here's the 2-2. Missed away, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, it's kind of tough right now, being a Giant fan, but
certainly.
The future is bright.
I think so.
Couldn't be any darker. Mm-hmm. Dark here in San Francisco. Payoff. Alvarez guides the ball to deep center field. Lee on the run to the track. Makes the catch right before the track. Alvarez really gave that one a ride. It's so hard to hit it out.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. We cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chef.
left center. Profar sprints over. Oh, he lost it.
He did not see that ball. He didn't even come close to it.
These interactions between De La Cruz and Tito Francona have been priceless.
You got it there?
Yes, indeed.
And the ball wasn't the only thing that landed in the basket.
What in the world happened out there to Jung-Ho Lee?
That's wild. I mean, you don't see that in the big leagues.
The world. Taking a Cadillac is more than just taking a drive. It elevates every journey. Experience the thrill of the Optic, the smooth exhilaration of the all-electric Lyriq, or the spacious Escalade or Escalade IQ. Discover which Cadillac is right for you. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
8th inning at Oracle Park. Willie Adames leads off for San Francisco. First pitch from Rico Garcia. Nails the outside corner. First pitch fastball strike. 0-1 on Adames. Mets by 5. They have a 6-1 lead. They've held this lead since the end of the 4th inning. Here we are in the 8th. Garcia's 0-1. Popped up sky high. Shallow right. Acuna out at second base. Waves off Soto. Backpedals and makes the catch. Backpedaled at the end there, but he got it. And there's one away in the 8th. So far, Rico Garcia 4 up and 4 down. And Matt Chapman is coming up. Don't forget to stay tuned after the game for the Verizon Mets post-game show. For the latest deals, drop into your local Verizon store. You've already stayed up late enough. You might as well stay up even later.
We're here. They might as well be too.
Chapman is 0-for-2 with a walk pitch. Garcia misses way outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
I think that it's going to be the best Verizon Mets post-game show in the history of the Verizon Mets post-game show. 2023 on.
And you're going to turn it off because you're tired? There's a 1-0 pitch. In for a strike, 1-1. I love the West Coast games when I'm sitting at home. You fall asleep with the radio on, or as Billy Joel would say, sleeping with the television on. Have you been watching the Billy Joel doc, HBO? We're really talking of HBO, by the way. There's the 1-1. Chapman takes a strike, and it's 1-2. Now, listen. You're a central to south Jersey guy.
From Monmouth County.
Yeah, listen, Billy Joel is the voice of the East Coast, but he's the patron saint of Long Island. So.
Sure. I've been watching Everybody Loves Raymond. It's the same concept.
That was Limbrook. Yeah, right there. Garcia ready with the 1-2. Holds and deals. Check swing, breaking ball down. He did not go. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Billy Joel doc. Again, when you're from Long Island, you kind of wake up that morning and you say, all right, let's watch. We have to. It's part of our lifestyle. I think part 2 came out today. Been pretty good so far. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Once again, Rico Garcia continues to pitch well. He's been pitching well for the Mets, for the Yankees, back to the Mets. So 2 down. He's retired all 5 that he's faced. And here's Mike Yastrzemski. Speaking of those Yankees, they did not help the Mets at all tonight. The Phillies beat them 12-5 at the stadium. Kyle Schwarber with 2 home runs. 6-1 Mets in the 8th. First pitch. In for a strike, breaking ball, 0-1. Scoreboard update is brought to you by Food Bazaar Supermarket. Shop locally, global. In Boston, Dodgers won 5-2, so no help for the Padres or the Giants. Garcia's 0-1. At the knees, strike 2, and Yastrzemski straightens at that call. Miami keeps winning. They beat Milwaukee 5-1, and the White Sox beat up on the Cubs in the Battle of Chi-Town. This one on the south side. Home of the White Sox, who won 12-5. Here it is 6-1 Mets in San Francisco. 2 outs, 2 strikes on Yastrzemski. Rico's pitch. Missed low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, when Gregory Soto gets here, presumably active for tomorrow's game, somebody has to go down. The Mets did call up today lefty Jose Castillo, who had been hanging out at AAA. The 1-2. Breaking ball just missed away. He buckled the knees there, but didn't get the call from Marvin Hudson. That's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So I do wonder, since the Mets called up Castillo, well, they want him to pitch first before potentially sending him out, because they'd have 3 lefties with Raley as well. 2-2 is fouled back. Stays 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I have to think he'd get the 9th if it remains a 5-run game, right?
I would think so. Even the Giants right now have somebody up you wouldn't expect. Camilo Doval, their closer, but he hadn't pitched a lot lately, so he's getting up. And an upside-down game for a closer. 2-2. Popped up foul. Third base side out of play. It stays 2-2 on Yastrzemski. Getting to that point of the night where the Seagulls are circling. Well, this fan base isn't going anywhere. Sellout crowd tonight, 41,163. Base is clear, 2 outs. Another 2-2 from Rico Garcia. Bounce foul to the right. Usually, if the Giants are not playing well as a team or in the game, this point of the night, the bleachers in left would be empty, and the Seagulls would be sitting down for a feast.
We are thankful that the folks have stayed.
Wilmer Flores on deck. It's a long battle between Rico Garcia and Mike Yastrzemski. Here's pitch number 8 coming up. Swing and a miss. He blew it by him with 96 miles an hour. Rico Garcia continues to be terrific. 2 scoreless innings. We go to the ninth.
Man umpiring crew here today, and this young superstar.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yes, so Hoppy tripped. They got their feet tangled up before the ball came down.
That goes helicoptering into the net. Beats time.
And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
A little tumble behind the mound. Hat fell off. That was awesome. I mean, you just don't see that.
Well, this is the World Series card. Everybody said, you know, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher? I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. You know, pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
Perfect time to get a Peerless Boiler. Don't wait. Go to peerlessboilers.com for more information and an installer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes.
Back here in San Francisco, this is a little ode to Billy's last play at Shea. Billy Joel bringing us back in the 9th inning. 6-1 Mets in San Francisco. Luis Angel Acuna facing new pitcher Camilo Doval. Flame-throwing right-hander's first pitch misses high with ball 1. Mets in the opener have a big 5-run lead. Place starting to empty out just a little bit. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Acuna takes outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Now, Doval has not pitched a lot lately. He did pitch on the road trip a couple days ago in Atlanta, but I think 1 time over his last 12 days. So just trying to get him some action. 2-0 pitch. Missed away. 3 balls and no strikes. Bob Melvin has been running the ship here for the last few years. So he certainly knows what buttons to press. Keep his guys fresh, even though for the closer, 15 saves this year for Doval. You wouldn't expect down 5 in the 9th to be his spot. There's a 3-0. That's it for a strike. slider there, and it's 3-1.
This is always an interesting situation for a manager because you want to get your guys work, obviously, but in a 5-run game when you're down, you've basically burned your closer in case you have to use him tomorrow.
3-1. Acuna reaches forward and pops it foul to the right. Strike 2.
Most guys don't go 3 days in a row, and say you have to use Doval in a tight game tomorrow because you used him just to get him work today. You then lose him in that finale when you might need him.
Mets by 5. Acuna's first at bat of the night. Payoff pitch. Hit him. Down he goes, and it hit him on the back right near the name above the number. Acuna's hopped to his feet after trying to clear the deck, get out of the way, but he couldn't. Carlos Mendoza's up at the top step, walking on the warning track, watching as Acuna jogs toward first and gives him the thumbs up. I hope that was a breaking ball, and it was.
Yeah, it was a slider, and Acuna was able to get out of the way enough that it hit him on the shoulder. Fortunately, the helmet went flying, and initially when you see that, you hold your breath. But fortunately, that one got him on the upper part of the arm.
So Doval hits just his second batter of the year. And here's Tyrone Taylor, a 6-1 Met lead. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. Again, that is one of the reasons why he's in there, not to hit anybody, but because it's been so long for Doval. And so a guy who usually doesn't hit anybody at all lets one get away there. There's a pitch in a while here. 0-1. Missed high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Doval's name has also come up from time to time as maybe a piece on the move if teams are interested. But where the Giants are in their season, the people now running the show, I don't know if they're going to get rid of him. 1-1, misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Not a free agent until 2028. He's only making $4.5 million this year. He'll be making more money in arbitration next year. But it has come up before. Here's the 2-1. In for a strike, 2-2. The guy that used to be the president of baseball operations, Farhan Zaidi, is now, of course, got fired, but he's now with the Dodgers because they just add people that are good. But Buster Posey is doing things a little bit differently. It's been a throw to first, and Luis Angel dives back in safely. And so it would kind of be a little bit crazy if they traded a guy like Doval, who's under team control, is a difference maker. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Taylor strikes out on the slider. 1 away in the 9th. Patrick, you nailed it. Jose Castillo warming up in the bullpen for the Mets for that bottom of the 9th inning.
Not my first rodeo, Keith. Been here once or twice.
So we told you the Mets right now have Raley and Castillo, their lefties. Castillo got called up. Soto will be here tomorrow. That is Gregory Soto. Here's Nimmo, first pitch. Taken outside with ball 1. I brought it up, too, because Rico Garcia had been crushing it, but he threw 2 innings tonight, and sometimes when you throw 2 innings, you throw so many pitches, you throw yourself out of the rest of the series, and therefore the manager can't use you. Here's the 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1, and yada, yada, yada. You're taking up a roster spot that we're going to need, and so out the door you go. But how many scoreless outings are the Mets going to let Rico Garcia throw before they say, you're going to stay, Rico? 2 more scoreless innings tonight. Throw to first, Acuna back in safely.
I was going to say, you can't just yada, yada, yada through the scoreless outings. He's been impressive.
I was yada, yada, yada through the, well, they might option him, and blah, 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 or DFA him because out of options kind of thing, but he's been terrific. 1-1, Nimmo swings and fouls it off, and it's 1-2. Mets by 5. It is 6-1 New York. Game 2 of this series tomorrow night. It'll be at 6 o'clock out here in California, 9 o'clock or 9:05 Eastern time tomorrow. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Nimmo strikes out on the slider, snapping low and in by his cleats. And there's 2 down for Francisco Lindor. Tomorrow, the Giants will send one of their better pitchers, lefty Robbie Ray, who's had a great year, pitching to a 2.92 ERA. But David Peterson, who pitches for the Mets, having just a slightly better year, 2.90 earned run average. Francisco, big night tonight, all of it early. Pitch. stared at for a strike. Doval gets the slider over, 0-1. Mets scored 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and they've held the Giants to just 1 run in the first inning. That's been it. Both teams with 8 hits apiece. Doval cross-legged, deals, and dots the inside corner, strike 2. Doval presses right foot against the mound, and then that front foot is swung all the way over toward third base. So he's almost showing his full-on back to the hitter. Runner leads at first, 0-2. Missed down low, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sunday was the day game. Has been moved to the ESPN Sunday night game, so 7:10 Eastern. Kodai Senga for the Mets. Giants are TBA. They may throw a bullpen game. They may throw a young kid. Don't know who it is yet. Doval's 1-2. Just missed off the plate. A slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So also interesting to think about as far as Bob Melvin and his closer usage here. Robbie Ray's a guy that usually goes out pitches a winner for the Giants, but when you play in the Mets, not guaranteed anything because they're going to probably throw a winner too. 2-2. Serve down the left field line toward the pole in the corner. It is a fair ball. Bounces up over the fence for a ground rule double. So Acuna, who's stepping on home plate now, has to go back to third as Lindor's at second base with his 3rd hit of the night. He has a single, a home run, and now a 9th inning double. It bounced in fair territory down the left field line, maybe 10 feet from the wall, and then bounced over into foul ground above the wall into the netting. So a ground rule double. And this is, of course, more and more good signs of Lindor coming out of what was the 0 for 31. And it's just been hits galore for him since. So now Soto trying to add on here for the 9th inning. Mets ahead by 5. 2 outs. 2nd and 3rd. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Kind of a fooled swing there from Soto. Thought he got the fastball, but it was the slider. And it's 0-1. Mets would love to give Castillo a little more insurance for the bottom of the 9th. 0-1 to Soto. Down and in off the catcher to the backstop. He can't find it, and Acuna sprints home to score without a throw. Lindor down to third as well, and on the wild one, it is 7-1 New York in the top of the 9th. So Patrick Bailey, who's usually exquisite behind home plate, couldn't grab that one. And actually, he was set up away, and the pitch missed into Soto, and so Bailey had to shoot his glove across the plate, and this time at like a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and it hit the right shin guard of the umpire, and that's what carried it back to the screen. Marvin Hudson is putting his leg back together. And he's good to go, and it's 1-1 on Soto. So 7-1, and now Lindor 90 feet away. Doval's 1-1 pitch. Bounced off the mound toward the middle of the infield, and that's through into center field for a hit. Lindor comes down from third to score and make it 8-1. Soto's 2nd RBI of the night and his 2nd hit. That one hit off the mound. It looked like it caught Doval because it took a weird bounce on its way through, but I think it just bounced up the mound and kind of ramped its way into center. So it didn't hit Doval. I think some of the Giants thought it might have hit him, but he's okay. And here is Pete Alonso. 8-1 Mets. A good offensive showing tonight. Pitch. Missed inside. Ball 1. So Soto a 2-hit night. Lindor, who just scored from third base, a 3-hit night. Pete 0 for 3, but does have a sacrifice fly. No hold on Soto. A lopsided game in San Francisco. The 1-0. Missed inside. 2 balls and no strikes. What would really make things annoying for Bob Melvin and great for the Mets is if he'll have to get somebody else up in that bullpen. Doval just trying to get some work. Throwing 25 pitches already. 2-0. There's a strike nestling in over the inside corner. 2-1. The Mets have added on a pair of runs in the 9th. They, again, had not scored since the 4th inning. Had a big, comfortable lead. There's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Good soft slider away. Fooled Pete, and it's 2-2. More and more fans have started to head for the exits at Oracle Park. Duvall in that bright neon orange jersey. Deep breath. 2-2. Foul back. The Mets can hold on here. And again, they're up 8-1 in the ninth. That'll move into 5 straight wins with, I call it 5 games before the trade deadline. Already added a lefty reliever, trying to finish off this roster for the push. 2-2, swing and a miss. Alonso chases the slider, and the inning is over. So Duvall gets some work. He strikes out 3.
Talk to me.
This is called a Crawford dog. Hamburger bun.
Yes.
2 split top Angus beef hot dogs griddled on the skillet, on the plancha. And then we do a bacon onion jam with Crawford Bock beer.
Pick it up like a burger.
Pick it up like a burger and you just go in, man.
Let's go to town. Yeah. Dude. Oh, best hot dog I've ever had. Best hot dog I've ever had. I love this, man.
This is how I grew up eating hot dogs.
Can't get a game started without my mug of Bigelow tea. For me, it's Bigelow green tea that keeps my voice going. No matter how hectic your day gets, grab your favorite Bigelow tea and take a moment just for you. Bigelow tea, the official tea of Odyssey Mets Radio.
Don't forget to stay tuned after the game for the Verizon Mets post-game show with Pat. The latest deals drop into your local Verizon store. 9th inning in San Francisco. Mets up 8-1. Jose Castillo is on to face Wilmer Flores. The first pitch is in for a strike. 0-1. Flores, Lee, and Schmidt. Mets 3 outs away from a win. Here's the 0-1. Flores pops it foul to the right and out of play. And the count 0. First half of this game, because there was absolutely no scoring in the second half until the top of the ninth. 0-2. Got him looking outside corner. Well, Jose Castillo's not messing around. His first outing in a Met uniform in weeks. And he strikes out Flores on 3 pitches. Castillo called back up today. Remember, the Mets picked him up from the Diamondbacks early. He was one of the lefties that the Mets said, well, let's give it a shot with him and see if he's maybe a diamond in the rough. The Mets had lost A.J. Minter and Danny Young. Pitch to Lee. Missed inside. 1 ball and no strikes. He was DFA'd a month ago, June 25th. And here we are, July 25th. The 1-0. Lee takes a little bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. Of course, the big news of the day that answers the lefty bullpen question is Gregory Soto from Baltimore. Traded over earlier today and made official. 2-0. Line toward right center field. That's a base hit for Lee. Taylor over to field and fire in. Lee takes a big turn but holds on. Good throw by Taylor as Lee scampers back. So Jung-Hoo Lee is 2 for 4. And Casey Schmidt coming up. Thrivewell Infusion brings us the thriving player of the game. Thrivewell Infusion, New York's premier infusion and injection center. Schedule your appointment at thrivewellinfusion.com. It's hard not to pick Francisco Lindor as the thriving player. 3 hits, 3 for 5, a double, a home run. He has scored 3 runs, stolen a bag, doing it all. First pitch to Casey Schmidt, the righty, is in for a strike, 0-1. 8-1 Mets, bottom of the ninth. Castillo, the lefty, set first base side of the rubber. Next pitch. Check swing, went around, and it's 0-2 on Schmidt. Infield back around to the left. No hold on Lee at first. Alonso playing off the line. 0-2, sprayed foul to the right and out of play. By the way, I made a mention that Gregory Soto is a Met. The Mets traded minor leaguers Wellington Aracena and Cameron Foster to get Gregory Soto, so no real household name prospects. Shipped out. 0-2, reached for, pop foul back and out of play. The count stays 0-2. We certainly saw that last year when Stearns was working at the deadline. No big name, household name prospects, Sproat, Tong, Gilbert, Clifford, Williams, those kind of names. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Great looking changeup by Castillo, who's got another strikeout. So Castillo has struck out 2 of the 3 that he's faced. And the Giants are down to their final out. Here's Patrick Bailey. 8-1 Mets in the ninth. Bailey, the 9-man switch hitting catcher, turns around and bats from the right side for the first time tonight. Again, Alonso playing behind the runner at first. Pitch. Grounded foul to the right. The count 0-1. Again, tomorrow's game will be at 9:05 Eastern Time. We'll be on the air at 8:30, 8:25 Eastern Time. 8:25 Eastern. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. The count 0-2. So the Giants are down to their final strike. 0-2. Runner at first. 2 outs. Castillo is set. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Castillo strikes out 3 in the ninth. And the Mets take the opener 8-1 over San Francisco. Make it 5 in a row for the New York Mets to get to 60-44 and remain in first place in the National League East. The West Coast trip is off to a good start. Mets take the first of 6 out here over the Giants. Giants and Padres on this trip. In the ninth for San Francisco, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Back to San Francisco to break it all down next on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Murano.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance